Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 10 best point guards in the game, including gambling point guards here in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Excited to try or to rank these cards in today's video. Would really appreciate it. Before we hop in, if you do subscribe, trying to hit the 30,000 subscriber mark on the channel. Would really appreciate it again if y'all do subscribe. Uploading every single day, tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Really trying to be more consistent than ever, even though the game is struggling a little bit at times. And trying to make sure I get out 6 videos a day, and would really appreciate it again if y'all do subscribe. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Shaq is number 10. I understand that Shaq has a terrible release, but he is a freaking cheeseball at the point guard position. 7'1", massive. That's the value of this card. Yes, he is not an elite shooter, but he is the biggest point guard in the game, bar none, with 95 speed, incredible defense, incredible dunking, and elite level size, and even the Kyrie dribble style, Pro 2 fade. His upper is terrible, which makes his Pro 2 fade hard to green. He's got a low 3-ball rating anyway. His release stinks. His SIGs are, besides Kyrie dribble style, not exceptional because the Curry slide behind the back isn't that useful. The Steph's drag back is very nice, but the behind the back doesn't help you when you're 325 pounds because that's too heavy to trigger the behind the back. As a whole, this is one of the glitchiest cards in the game because of his pure size, but as a whole, I don't think he's unbelievably great. I think the number 10 spot is actually a very fair slot for him. Number 9 is going to be this Doug Christie, who I think is your best opal point guard in all of my team right now. This card is really good. 6'6" with 6'9" wingspan. Honestly, I think you could make an argument that he deserves to be higher than this number 9 spot. In fact, I'm going to move him up to number 8 because I think this Doug Christie is absolutely great. He's got a great release. He's got key badges across the board. Great speed, great shooter, great dunker. One of the most slept on cards in the entire game. Even has good SIGs. As a whole, Doug Christie is an absolute stud. Definitely deserving of a spot. Honestly, you could even argue, I think I'm going 7, actually. I'm moving him up a couple spots because his release speed is as good as it is. Now, Penny Hardaway. I will have a gameplay coming today with Penny. It might have already dropped, actually, by the time y'all see this video. He's 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. And the card is good. He's got great stats and badges. He's super complete. The problem with this card is that his release is just not that good. That's the main and really only problem. Normal fade is not bad, but it is not exceptional either. There are better fades, but I will say the main complaint with Penny Hardaway is quite simply just that his release is not that great. MJ dribble style is not the best dribble style. Hard behind the back is good, but again, not the best. Trey escape is super nice. He's got great movement, great stats and badges. Card is really good. I just do believe that the way his release is that it holds him back a little bit, puts him at number 9. Honestly, J.R. Smith is at number 8 for the same exact reason, kind of. His release, even on very quick, is not that exceptional. This is a very disappointing ultimate reward compared to last season's ultimate reward, which is obviously Glenn Rice. 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan, hotspots from literally everywhere. And the card is not bad. He's got great stats and badges. He's very complete. Even souped defensively. Like, the card is really good on paper, but his release is not that great. It's just not. I don't love it. SIGs are awesome. Movement is really good. Fade is super nice. His release just isn't that great. I'm not exceedingly impressed by what J.R. Smith does. He just does not feel that elite on the court. I know his stats and badges are exceptional, but at this point in the year, so is everybody else's pretty much. So I feel like putting him number 8 feels fair. Christie at 7 and then SGA at 6. SGA does not have half a movable enforcer like Doug Christie does, and even like these other two guys, JR, Penny, and even Shaq do. But what SGA has is the completeness with the SIGs, the elite all-around stats and badges still, even without having Hoff. Immovable enforcer. As a whole, he's just as complete as those other guys. And then he's got a better release, I think, than all of these guys. And his tray fade is really nice with a very smooth, easy upper that's consistently easy to time, which helps a lot as well. I just think he's better overall animation-wise. I feel like his release is better. I feel like he moves smoother. He's a little bit easier to use than guys like JR and Penny, and I think he's just a little more effective than those guys, so I put him at number 6. Number 5 is going to be Clyde Drexler. I don't think this one's a huge surprise. Clyde is pretty much always just going to be one spot above Penny, or above SGA for me. He's basically SGA, but an inch taller. Now, he does not have Hoff hands for days as a base card. Ideally, you want to put that on Hoff if you can, but very similar to SGA, even defensively, golden movable enforcer, just like SGA. He's a better slasher than SGA, though I will say release is very similar, movement is very similar. They basically do the exact same thing on the court. I just think Clyde is a slightly better slasher and has a bigger player build, being an inch taller. That's about the only difference between the cards. They're all very, very good, but I think Clyde is very, very good. It's funny how many non-gambling point guards there are on this list, but we got a gambling one here with Ben Simmons, the first gambling point guard since actually Shaq on this list. Ben at 6'11" is kind of like Shaq in that his biggest flaw is still his shooting, but it's definitely not a flaw the way that Shaq's is. Now, I still don't like Ben's release very much, but when he is wide open, he should be knocked down, and he does have Pro 2 fade, even if his upper isn't great. That is nice to have, and gold shooting badges across the board, including pretty much all the key ones. He's an exceptional playmaker, an exceptional defender, and exceptional slasher. You could make an argument for him higher than number 4. I just think height is a little bit less important this year than it's ever been. It is really important still, no doubt, but I think it's a little less important, and I don't like his release. I just don't. I think his releases limits him, and I think he is just not that great of a shooting threat, to be honest. So we're putting him at 4. Jokic is going 3 because Jokic is a bigger shooting threat than Ben Simmons, despite them both. I would say Jokic's release is similarly slow to Ben, and he's probably not even quite as good of a playmaker, but he's got, I think, number 1, a bigger player build than Ben. Number 2, he's just got much better shooting badges and stats than Ben, and I just think in terms of his completeness, he's still got elite badge completeness across the board, including even on the perimeter. Like, I don't think he's a significantly worse defender, playmaker, or even slasher than Ben is, and has similar size while being, I think, a slightly better shooter. I think, honestly, he plays a lot like Ben Simmons, as crazy as that is to say, because you wouldn't think in real life Jokic and Ben are anything close to each other. In my team this year, they're actually relatively similar right now. I just think Jokic is a slightly better card. Lonzo is going to be at number 2 for me. The thing about Lonzo is I like his release better than both Jokic is and Ben Simmons. He's also got the Pro 2 fade, which, to be fair, they do as well, but I like his Pro 2 a little better. He's got near perfect SIGs as well, which is really, really nice. I like his upper. His release is smooth and easy, and he is himself an elite defender, elite shot creator. Just does everything well. I feel like he gives you a better mix of playmaking than Jokic and Ben do. I like his release a little bit better than both of their releases as well, and yes, he's smaller than them. If you want to argue Jokic and Ben over Lonzo because of size, I think that is fine. Just to me, I think Lonzo's the most complete point guard in the game right now, besides one guy who is Larry Bird, who's basically just a 6'9" version of a Lonzo Ball, in my opinion. And by the way, just be aware, I did not include any 100 overalls in this list, GOAT cards, anything like that. I just like to leave those off the list because they're so rare. Even on these gambling lists, I still think they're rare enough right now where it's just like not really worth putting them on here. Like I could put 400 overalls on this list if I wanted to, but nobody really has those cards. So 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan is Larry. Hotspots from literally everywhere. Super complete badges. The card is really good. He's not missing anything. He's very similar, honestly, to Lonzo in terms of his completeness, having good animations, great SIGs, and a very nice release with Pro 2 fade. He's like a 6'9" version of what Lonzo Ball gives you, and that makes him, in my opinion, the best point guard in the game right now among these gambling cards. Obviously, a couple of the 100 overalls definitely would rival the top of this list as well. Guys like LeBron and kind of Magic and James Harden. Like, there's a few point guards that definitely would be still in this top 10, but as a whole, I think this is a really good list. And I think it gives y'all a really good picture. And honestly, the nice thing about this list is it includes a lot of non-gambling point guards. Like 6 of these 10 guys can be attained without gambling, and 5 of the 10 can be attained no money spent. So, or could, I guess. So that is gonna do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of my list. If there's any cards I left too high, put too low, or in your opinion left off the list that you think is a top 10 point guard in the game, feel free to leave a comment and let me know about that. But like I said, hope y'all did enjoy the video. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.